Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So as you can see in today's video we're going to be talking about AI, something that people have been really I should say AI impacts on weather, something people have been really panicked about recently, and I just want to clear some things up. So as you can see, first we're talking about water usage. People are concerned that it's going to destroy the water sources. However, that's not true at all. As you can see, it uses the amount of water that a town of 10,000 to 50,000 people would use. And the biggest town that's nearest to me is has about 50 to 60,000 people. So if we have enough water resources here to support over 50,000 people, then surely the AI data center would not destroy an ecosystem or things like that. Now, however, I do have some concern that if you put it in a desert area that doesn't have much water, then it could potentially dry it out. Like the Southwest, they don't have as many major population centers because they simply don't have the resources to support something like that down there yet. Um, like sure, you could live down there and you could buy bottled water, but it's still there's not going to be large groups of people living off of bottled water because it's just impractical. And this is it matches the at the daily rate. It matches the entire global bottled water consumption. So that's just consumption alone, human consumption. It matches that, and humans use even more than AI. So I'm not exactly sure. So if you were opposed to something like this, then you would have to be opposed to something like a major city, which obviously no one's opposed to that. It's good for job opportunities, the economy, things like that. But yeah, if it and that's why we don't see major cities in like the desert Southwest because I mean, who would who would live down there and where there's no water? Now there are some major population areas, but those areas are more, I would say more they have more precipitation than the other areas surrounding it. Um I don't think this is something that you should be really concerned about. It's like 1.8 million people's annual use. 1.8 million Americans. So that's like one 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 out of like 330 something of our population. So that's a very small fraction. I don't think this is something you should be concerned about. Um, although I don't like the idea of AI as a whole, but I'll get into that later. So how much do they heat? They account for 1.3 or 1 to 3% of greenhouse gas emissions, which they're doing nothing really at all. I don't completely buy into global warming because it's something that I don't really see much scientific evidence, and I think it was more of a political thing in the first place, which I'm not going to get into politics obviously because this is a weather channel. So I just thought it was interesting to see that. Um, and so yeah, they're not using much heat, but I don't like the idea of AI as a whole. People are talking about eventually giving computers consciousness, which is a terrible idea. Why would you want to do that? Because they don't have the pre-programmed morals and ethics like humans do. They like you would have to pre-program ethics into every single one of them, which I don't think is a great idea because they can still choose to have like free will if you give them the human type of consciousness. They would be able to have free will. Now, they wouldn't have a soul, but they would be, I guess you could say, conscious. I guess they would know what's going on and they could act on their own. Which that's a scary concept because they how are you gonna punish a computer because it doesn't really know what it's doing? Like that's the scary thing about it. There wouldn't really be any consequences. So, anyways, thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.